Hey YouTubers, this is Robert again. I wanted to take this opportunity to address a particular topic. And the topic that I want to address is character. Why do I focus on character? Why is this channel devoted to character development? Well, you know, for years and years, probably like some of you guys watching, I read a lot of books on personal development. I studied success, been a student of success. And that success had always eluded me, always gotten away. And I was trying to figure out, how can I be successful? How can I duplicate the success of so many people that I was reading about? And it had always escaped me, but I didn't know exactly why. I had the passion. I think I had the hunger. Yeah, I think I had the acumen, at least in some part. Now, truth be told, maybe I didn't have it enough. But when I really looked deep, when I really got right down to brass tacks, and I started to look within myself, I figured out the reason I didn't have the things that I wanted to have. I didn't achieve the things that I so badly wanted to achieve was because I wasn't the type of person who deserved that type of success. In other words, I didn't have the character. And so I would look at character and I began to study character. And I figured out a couple of things. I read in one book, and the name of the book escapes me, but it said 3 words. And those words were be, do, and have. And they pretty much stood for the idea that we all have to become the person we must in order to do the things we must do in order to have what we want. And when the light bulb went on in my mind from those 3 words, I was thinking, I gotta get to work. Because I couldn't be this real estate mogul, or I couldn't be this stock investing mogul, or maybe I couldn't be this titan of business. And what I meant was, I can't be the people that I looked up to. I can't be the icon in those positions. You know, Microsoft is already created. You know, Starbucks is already existing. Now that doesn't mean I can't go into business and I can't model their success and I can do those things, but I wanted to find something that I can champion. I needed something to hang my hat on. And so once I figured out that I could master or develop my character in order to achieve whatever it is that I wanted at the time and whatever I want now, I really start to really unpack myself, do a lot of self-analysis. And my goal was to reverse engineer character. And so I heard a quote and it stuck with me, and I'll just give you the purpose of the quote. And it said, came down to thoughts, words, actions, habits, character, and destiny. Those 5 words resonated with me. And when I figured I could reverse engineer character so that I can create the life that I wanted, I had to execute. And I wanted to share that with anybody who would listen. It also prompted me to write my first book, Character Coins, Investing in Significance. And I said, you know what? We're all different. We all have different giftings. We all have different talents. We all have different desires. We all have different goals. But the one thing we have in common is character. Meaning it's going to take character in order to get those things that we desire. And so I stuck with character. And I was looking at character a different way. I think character is kind of like clay. It's hardened clay, meaning we have to have certain thoughts, we have to have certain actions, certain habits, certain affirmations or declarations, if you will. And over time, like clay, it begins to set in us, it begins to harden. And from there, we start to automatically move in the direction of our desires. When we repeat it over and over and over, it's kind of like when you start a habit, it's really hard to form at first. It's really, really tough. But over the long haul, after you're doing it 22 days, then 45 days, then 86 days, then 120 days, it begins to get easier and easier and easier. And before long, it becomes who you are. That clay begins to harden. And the final point that I want to make on how to develop strong character, or why I focus on character in order for us to achieve the things that we want, in order for me to achieve the things that I have yet to achieve, is I kind of broke it down between everything that we want to do. I put it in two categories. I think it is either character or tactics. And I think character is our container for all of us. It's our container. And it kind of reminds me of the saying when Martin Luther King said that he would want his children to be judged by the content of their character, meaning what's inside them, rather than on the outside. And so when I go back to character versus tactics, I look at a few things that would make up our character, like what would be in the content of our character. Some of the things that may be in the content of our character would be leadership, or self-discipline, or courage. These things are character traits. Okay, these things are traits that we put in our character. And everything else are tactics. All the rest are tactics. For instance, leadership. The tactic in order to get leadership is leading at home, leading in a business, leading in your circle of influence. And I'm not talking about just positional leadership, but there's that. But I'm talking about, at its essence, influence. Maybe volunteering somewhere and become the leader and see if people are willing to follow you. These are tactics for leadership. Leadership is the trait, and how you acquire leadership is the tactic. Or if we take self-discipline, for example, you say, I want to get in shape. Going to the gym is the tactic. Making yourself go is the self-discipline. Going when you don't feel like it is self-discipline. But the gym and the weights and the running and the treadmill, all these are tactics, or tactics and tools. Or you may say, hey, I want courage. Well, one of the things you need to do is perhaps face your fears. Now, let's say your fear is public speaking. A tactic may be getting in front of the camera and speaking. A tactic may be you go to a karaoke bar and start to sing karaoke. Or maybe you want to have courage as part of your character and your fear is heights. Well, you work up the gumption to go on a plane or a hot air balloon or something like that, because we know that courage is not the absence of fear, it's just acting in spite of it. So you may want to build courage inside and face your fears. All the rest are tactics. You could be afraid of heights. You could be afraid of fire. You could be afraid of snakes. You could be afraid of the dark. And you face your fears, and whatever it is that you do to face your fears are tactics. I just think it is possible. I think it is possible and necessary for us to develop character. I think that's the missing ingredients, because if we do a character breakdown of high achievers, we would see that they have these particular traits that we are looking for. And if we look at their biography, we would see the particular tactics develop those traits that they were looking for. And it's because of those traits they became the high achievers that they are today, or if we're talking about someone in the past, they once were. And giving you an idea of how I came up with this whole idea of character. Why I'm so passionate about character. Why do I even care about developing my character and helping others develop theirs? And it's because I believe that no matter what you want, I think we can all conquer with character. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to smash the notification button so you won't miss any videos at all. And once again, conquer with character.